offensively and obviously on the other side of the ball. We're going to do the same thing with Seattle. We're going to play them and prepare the best we can on a back-to-back. And then as we turn the page towards the weekend game against Seattle, that's game 2. So this is our playoff week. I know that sounds silly to you guys, but that's how we're approaching it. I love the buy-in.
Big game tonight, and we talked about a lot of things in the first go round. Tonight, just if you could pick one metric, what would be that could improve? What would that be our level of successfulness for tonight?
One, I think it's like asking a long talker about one thing. You know, if I had to say one thing, definitely our turnovers have been a factor in this series. If you look at the other 11 teams that have played Connecticut this year, we're averaging the most turnovers a game against Connecticut. We're averaging over 20 turnovers a game. We know that approximately 40% of their scoring comes either off offensive rebounds or generating points off of opponents' turnovers. So those two things continue to be top of mind. But if you made me narrow down, us executing offensively is our first and most important line of defense. That's no live ball turnovers, that's shot quality. Those kind of things could really help our defense. That was not bad the other night, but again, when you turn it over 20 times against Connecticut, it's hard to take away something that's so important on a game plan to take away from it. Thank you.
Hey, Coach Jackie, Jack Ray TV. So Rakia's growth spurt has been phenomenal. Are you surprised about how fast and how quickly she's growing, and what do you attribute her quickness and getting acclimated to the league to?
Again, I've shared numerous times that I want to echo that. The growth from May basketball for Rakia to September basketball in season in a tough cadence of games, the shortest training camp in the history of the league, is so encouraging on where her ceiling and stardom can be for us in this league. Really, really impressed with how much she's improved in season. You attribute it to first, you start with her. Her willingness to get in the gym and work, her willingness to invest time with the assistant coaches, with film, her willingness to work on her game. She deserves a ton of that credit. I also want to shout out the assistant coaches that are spending time with her on skill development, on film prep. And all plays a part of it. So just really, really proud of Rakia. We know who we are, we know what our record is, and obviously she's getting the media attention that she deserves, but it would be even larger if we were a playoff team, because her ceiling, she's just scratching the surface. As much as she's improved defensively, she's still got, growth. As much of her offensive skill set at multiple levels she's showing you, she can be even better. So I'm just really excited about her future. We're very fortunate to have her as a building block for us.
Coach, you're in a rare situation here where the team has a handful of games left, but obviously the playoffs are no longer a possibility. How does that change your approach, or how are you approaching these set of games, knowing the ultimate goal is not possible, but there's still work to be done with the amount of rookies and veterans you have on the squad?
Yeah, I appreciate the team buying into what I'm talking about this week is our playoff week. We have the unique opportunity to play Connecticut on back-to-back games, not back-to-back days, but back-to-back games. And then when we start tomorrow with Seattle, we play Seattle back-to-back games. So for us, this is an incredible opportunity for us to experience what playoff basketball will be like not being in the playoffs. So we're approaching it that way. We're talking a lot about adjustments from game 1 to game 2. So Sunday was game 1, today is game 2. And we're going to approach it that way. We've made subtle adjustments. We have plans on how they defended us and things that we want to look for tonight offensively and obviously on the other side of the ball. We're going to do the same thing with Seattle. We're going to play them and prepare the best we can on a back-to-back. And then as we turn the page towards the weekend game against Seattle, that's game 2. So this is our playoff week. I know that sounds silly to you guys, but that's how we're approaching it. I love the buy-in. We don't get to experience the playoffs this year, but this, to us, is our playoff week.
Any other questions? Sabrina?
So obviously Dearica got off to a tremendous start to the season, and it's been a little bit less excellent since the Olympic break. Is that just, do you attribute that to the fatigue of, what she had to do in Paris and then everything that's going on in her life right now, or anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's one factor, right? Dearica has carried us, while her numbers, have, crept lower. When you look at why she flat out deserves the most improved player in the league, her shooting percentages are up. Her points are up, her rebounds are up. Every statistical category is up. And to me, most improved is not a one area improvement. The most improved player, in my opinion, should have a diversity of improvement. And she checks the box in every single area. So while she's come back a little bit, after playing in the Olympics, and coming back and carrying the load and being our go-to player, obviously the attention is really focused on D as our go-to player and Rakia. And so Dearica gets a lot of the attention. The other thing is nice is you're seeing the growth of other people. A lot of what was asked of her early in the year was without Azare. She missed 20 games. She missed half the season. So, she didn't have a partner in crime or a veteran post player with her. You're also seeing the development and the rise of Lee's game. So everything contributes to that, but I don't want it to diminish just because her numbers have come back a little bit in certain areas. Dearica Hamby on a 12th place team, I don't care what place we're in, should be, and statistically says it should be. She should be the most improved player in the league this year.
Anyone else?
And someone post that.
Yeah, we posted it.
I got you.
Thanks, Coach.
I know.